So Ros, we've got the Climate Change and Biodiversity Emergency Declaration going to Council on Friday, and you'll know that at the heart of that is the challenge that there's really 12 years to try and limit sort of the rise in temperature to no more than 1.5%. Otherwise, we've got a major challenge internationally, and in particular, we're seeing some of those changes now with rising sea levels, extinction of animal and plant species, and general sort of weather pattern changes. And we've been urged, along with other regional and national organisations at a local government level, to make a difference. So, you know, that biodiversity and climate change declaration is pretty critical. What are we going to do on Thursday?
Look, it's a world emergency. It's going to be the biggest emergency any of us face for the 21st century. It's about making sure we've got a world that our kids can grow up in, and therefore we are going to lead here in Doncaster, along with our partners, to deliver the best carbon footprint we can. But more importantly, we'll be setting out what we're going to achieve and when. We've got some very key messages we've got to get out there to our people, and that is this: we want Doncaster, the wider Yorkshire, and indeed the world, to actually accept climate change is an emergency now. We need to be planning for it and getting our action plan to deliver for our future, our planet, and the entire world.
Well, and I know you've also at the last council meeting announced that we're setting up a Climate Change and Biodiversity Commission. In fact, it met actually today, chaired by Ed Miliband, and in there the conversations were around, well, what would be our target for net zero carbon emissions, but also what are we doing around negative carbon activity. And by that I mean things that we can do practically to offset those carbon emissions in terms of tree planting, but also looking at other ways in which we can store carbon, and looking at what people need to do at an individual level, because actually we know we're going to change people's habits and behaviours, and that actually a significant amount of the reduction in carbon comes from domestic heating and domestic activity. So it's a real issue in terms of how we get the messages out there to members of the community.
We all make choices every day. We've got to think as we make those choices, so we're delivering the best environment we can and ensuring that biodiversity, reseeding and everything else plays its part. And we here in Doncaster, as a council, will lead, but we want partners to join with us, because it's collectively we can do it together and achieve.
You're right, it is actually a Team Doncaster effort. We as a council have got a role, but actually it's everybody within the borough playing their part. And it's that bit about thinking globally, yes, but acting locally.